you may notice that, well, things are not, that I'm not doing that barony campaign I was doing at the current moment, despite Telus fail. But, I am going to be continuing that. However, it's actually way closer to the end of it than I expected. Because, apparently I realized that that exact nation is very isolationist after the fact. So, there's not much left. I'm gonna go finish that, but, yeah, it's not exactly that long at that point. Honestly, either, in hindsight, should have gone with either the Republicans or the, Communists for the for that burning over there, so I had a better chance of prolonging the campaign, but what's done is done. However, it does have more cool events, though. Because I'm going to be starting as the Commonwealth of New Mareland. I am open to doing 2 playthroughs of this one, however, but this one I'm going with the more moderate route. I'm going to get route of the ones in the path that I'm going to go down. That you're going to lead to expansion and other things. So I'm going with the most moderate of those paths. And it is a bit of a subtle nod to my New American Order series that I never ended up finishing or continuing because of updates to Kaiserreich happening before I just finish it. So yeah. However, we're not going to have to worry about any sort of issues happening. The series, unless the update for Equestria War happens, that adds all the new for mainly the Riverlands area and a bit over here, as far as I'm aware. Okay, here's what the Commonwealth of New Mareland is. Friends across the sea. Over 400 years ago, the first point traders, led by Columbus, sailed down the southern coast of Griffonia and founded the colony of Celestia. Since then, years of immigration, colonization, and one-sided trade deals have resulted in the Commonwealth of New Mareland, the beacon of Equestria on Griffonian shores. While not only still part of Equestria, New Mareland has its own government, the Commonwealth Congress, and is subject to its own laws and regulations. The lax regulations in industry and employment laws, along with the free market, has led to many Christian businesses setting up in New Mareland. However, basically the stock market crashed, and basically the best way to put this nation is take Great Depressions era America and combine that with Australia. Anyway, we're on the 29th of October, 999, New Mareland and the stock market crashed. You notice what Black Wednesday, thousands of Marylanders are suddenly without a job, makes the Commonwealth turmoil, many New Marylanders turn to the question for help. The homeland did little to help alleviate the problem. Many Marylanders, not only about Princess Celestia, have begun the campaign for the Commonwealth full independence. This is championed by self-charismatic Ponies, Glade Main, Kingfisher, and Duke. However, the important general set is still reaching top power in the Commonwealth. And popular support among Ponies in Maryland, with support from Equestria. He has his own plan to fix the nation, making it South Australia. The imminent issue known to tackle is the economic depression, which may have been ideas on how Maryland should recover. Some more extreme than ours. Maryland is also a peaceful nation. If faced by a war, the populations will need to be rallied behind the cause. There's a sizable Griffin minority in the nation who fiercely reject the idea of fighting a Ponies war. Having Maryland starts a strong industrial base, purely the aviation industry, a strong air force, and violent well-dug-in army. Be key in Maryland's defense. Ponies in Maryland comes close to a crisis. We have evil-minded nations in this foreign land. Will they hold firm survive, or will these be less years in Maryland's long history? So yeah, It's sitting here. And like I said, I'm going a moderate partition path. I'm not going harmless though. And by the way, what wasn't mentioned in there is the one I would consider for the second playthrough of New Mareland is the fence path. However, I'm not doing any fastest campaigns with that in mind because I'm still going on with that fastest campaign with this Axis Skies as a harmless one in the Barony. The actual harmless one is a counter coup, actually, for that nation. So yeah. But yeah, either way, this is technically a democratic path, but it is, well, I think you can guess what this is closer to a more sane version of Peli. For Kaiserreich is the fence path. However, it's still a bit bad. But first thing first, I'm going to ignore the politics. Why? So I can actually get the nation into a good position. Also note, something cool is if you go partition, the names for some of these focuses change to go with a more Republican style rather than a monarchist one. And first things first, I should go and do the national census. In fact, it's actually, in my opinion, better to get everything right possible for early on. Yeah. We need to get a lot of infrastructure set up, though, for this nation. Because this nation requires... Also, I'm gonna go and do some...
Ponies, at the ready! Answering the call.
Everything except the light division.
Ready to do our part!
All of them to unhost divisions. And delete the Royal New Mareland Guard because I'm not going royalist. And that's more of a roleplay reason why I'm doing that. The reason is, well, we are going to be more dug in because we start off with the grand battle plan.
Neither snow nor rain can stop us.
So it's going to help doing that. And you're going to ain't worried about that at all, but we do need to decide the air doctrine and, yeah. But Navy and the, Armed Doctrine are pretty much already decided at the start of the game. And might as well take this. Just so we have stuff ready. Because it's going to be a decent while before I'm going to go and have us actually do the partition. The only reason for this is so we can get a lot of our industry stuff ready and we can have the advance of defense in case something happens here in the immediate. So here involving our neighbors so they don't go immediately after us.
Ready to do our part!
Also of note, this nation, like the Crystal Empire and the River... not River Republic, is there a Republic? I think it's the Republic. Oh yeah. A few of the nations in Christian Order have references to Fall Equestria Dead Tree. But the one that has the most references to it is actually the New Mareland. So yeah. But first things first, we don't want to get in any of these except this guy because he is infantry expert. When we have a larger army, then we should start using gladiators, though. And yeah, all these here are very interesting ones here. But pretty much almost when I'm done getting most of the industry side here done, I'm then going to do the partition and then start the military while that's going on. That's the current plan. As we don't have to worry about pretty much anything except Wing Barbie, and even that is better similar to Equestria for as long as possible to prevent that in case they don't go with in case they go with the aggressive government. And okay, they're going with either a bit iffy one, which is that's not going to be that bad for me. Albeit, if they're going neutral, I have to worry still. But if they're going conservative government and they go to the right, I do have to worry. Like, if they go all the way right and do New Mareland, then I have to worry. However, oh wait, no, I don't have to worry about that. That requires some privacy. So, yeah, they can't do this. However, I do hope they go this way, or they go Harmonist. Because, well, Harmonist that is not embracing the pony way. That is what I need in order to be completely secure. Without having to worry about having a war declared on me. However, I still have to worry about other things. But either way, it should be pretty safe in this campaign from external threats. Especially if King Mongolia decides to go moderate in their route. If I get really lucky and when both good things happen, we're pretty much set if their public screen goes and sees harmony. If that happens, we are in a completely solid position for the rest of the campaign. As New Mareland's path, especially Kingfisher, relies on certain things with foreigners. If you want foreign nations out, if you want to go the best option possible and go this way. Which is really, really helpful and is the only one that has you rejoin a faction after you leave the All Ponies Alliance in Equestria. Actually, I don't think it starts with the All Ponies Alliance. Let me check. No, we didn't start on that. But yeah, that's the only one we rejoin alliances. This wasn't where, except maybe the communists. Let me check that. No, this one we start up a new alliance here with the Samurai, which makes sense. Ally with Griffons. Cool. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, yeah, we don't get to do this. However, if they stay allied, it's not gonna be a worry because we're gonna go war with them anyway then. As long as this stays there, because this, it doesn't matter the ideology, we can go after them, period. Pretty much, the only reason to do this focus is if Wingguard goes communist, because then the alliance breaks apart. And the communist path for Wingguard is very much dangerous to New Mareland, even more so than I think the fastest route, because they can do it way more early. Especially if they go join Aqualea. That's really why it's super dangerous. And this one they go puppet it. This one they go after what would be our ally, and it's a thinking that one is not that bad if they go with their ally. If you're going anything except Kingfisher. Which, yeah, I gave away pretty much who I'm going with there, but honestly, this one is completely, you just get cool things for your nation, but you don't get to do anything expansive. And I already said I'm not going fastest or harmony, so yeah. And Kingfisher is really a good, very much a reference to Kaiser Too Long. Well, Kaiser and Huey Long as well. So yeah, it's gonna be very. Oh, also, this is not gonna matter for this campaign, but yeah, you see here we got this map here, which can be taken by both the Duke and Kingfisher. However, surprisingly enough, Jet Set, Army, and the Strength and Equestria ties don't give a damn about the Thestial population in New Mareland. That's a thing to consider about them. missing that flat out. And yep, the political thing started. So yeah, that's actually. However, they don't have anything. Also, Glade doesn't do. I'm pretty sure he doesn't do anything. Yeah, he doesn't do anything about the seals either. However, while Duke, surprisingly enough, is actually good for the Thestials flat out no matter what. Fence is iffier. He goes here, and while goes Democratic here, and then there's one issue. On the issue of Thestials, they can go Thestial plan, which is normal. It increases your stability. It lowers your milk population by 10%, which is the inverse of the Thestial Citizenship Act. Well, Thestial Citizenship Act, pretty much. But it is not that bad, other than the population there being really bad though for your army. However, you could also go proper pushing and join all, which is the same thing as the whole thing with the Thestial Citizenship Act, except you lose even. Wait a minute. Oh, you lose the same amount of stability. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, you also have this here, and yeah, to get more population. Generally speaking, defense is the most controversial aspect for other ponies, but is way worse for griffons. Well, controversial in the sense of, yeah, basically that is the one you want to go if you want to be Democrat. Basically, what I said about America and the Great President of America, I meant that in
magic makes it strong.
Said. This is a more sane version of Pelly. That's the best way to put it. It's good. It still has democracy while being the fascist. And it also has. Oh wait, that's good. Okay. Apparently that means Winberg is going harmless. And the most insane option happened for the Griffonian Empire. They killed their emperors, their child emperor. And that also means that everything's on fire, which means everyone's not loyal to them anymore, and they have to go with literally everyone. And it's going to be the most chaotic option. For, it almost guarantees the whole that one of the minors are gonna win. However, if you do manage to win this empire, when you use it, you do get free wardles for the Riverlands. So yeah, that's the benefits of that. And okay, they're going either harmless or compass. And then, okay, that's good. Because... However, I do have to say, the Nala in here, the Submarine Terror, is not that bad for the ponies that live in there. Just because they actually work with it, because monarchist support and all. Yeah. Here's what the Harmony, which is actually the canon thing that I think happens. However, that's not necessarily, however, you don't know that, at least in terms of that's the historical path. However, it does have World War's Griffonian Empire, which, unfortunately for all miners of the Equestria Wars of the Griffonian Empire, they gain that title whenever they win and become the successor. So they will go after you if you do, no matter what in that, pretty much. The Moderates are the most pacifist of the options, actually, for any campaign. The Communist Moderates. They go here, they still go and invade their the nearby neighbors, but they don't go after the Empire or anything else. And the Radicals are way more aggressive, you also integrate faster. Much they integrate at the same speed, pretty much. But they also go after the Empire, just like the Harmonists. Then when it don't go after the don't go after the Empire are the moderates. Are the pretty much any of the paths, so that's the only one that doesn't. It's actually a pretty neat concept behind that. Because they're much more focused internally is, I think, the reason for that is than any of the other ones. So, yeah. Huh. Okay. Oh, that happened. The Lamian Civil War is happening there? Okay. Okay, well, that's a bad thing, but also a good thing, in a way. I don't know who's gonna win this, but no matter what, I hope to go with the isolation strategy, pretty much. Albeit the Communists win, and that's gonna be more interesting, because that means you can actually probably attack them later on. Next we need to go and do a little small arms factory. You know what, I think early on we should just get the Sunny Flare, because we are going to be staying pretty much focused internally stuff. Yeah, because we're building a lot of infrastructure, then I can actually have us build some cities soon. Yeah, that's pretty much the exact plan I have here for the industry for a while.
Ponies at the ready.
Okay, and the one good thing that actually makes a lot of sense to me with the pretty much any of the fastest pass though is it allows you to annex this flat out pretty early on. Cause I mean, this is not that good if you can't connect to there and it's connected by straight to another nation on both ends. And you can't get troops there without having to go across the sea. Just saying. However, I'm pretty sure New Maryland's the one, and is one of the best ones to get for this year. If they go communist, that is, for the ferry parses. That is really the best option. Is that? However, it's not gonna. It won't really matter. I think. Let me check. Oh yeah. The only way to get this, pretty much, you have to rely on that happening, and they go communist in order to have a chance to even attack them. So yeah. Huh. So this is the interesting thing here for they can for Duke. He can actually ally with Ringardi. This is actually pretty interesting. Or they can go towards where faster and they go their own way. And yeah, the Duke is flat out a more authoritarian government in terms of the whole stereotypical one leader and all that. However, the Fence is more democratic, which is a more libertarian government. However, they're also way more bad for griffons. See, unseasoned mix, yeah. It's that type. Also, all the participants are pretty much not as good for the griffons. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. Let's get the flare plan. Oh, also, this thing changes no matter depending entirely, I think, on the whole ideology you currently are. It just changes the name pretty much, and yeah, and also the name of the focus. Also, the sad thing is, this is not that useful if you're not this. But it is still cool and all, but no matter what. But you can't take this because you get that, which is a sad thing. This is really good for the Air Force, but I mean, it's not exactly good in some cases. Yeah, here, Depression, Griffonian minorities, which is their main griffins. Yeah, that's a really bad aspect to it. And then there's Equestria on board. Sharks here. Oh, this is actually okay. Kingfisher is actually not that bad for the griffins. They have the Civil Rights Act, which makes it less bad. By a lot, actually. Holy crap. There's also token reforms, which is not nearly as good, but it gets rid of the major issue, but this really helps a lot. But it does lower stability slightly. Not enough that I don't see why you would not choose this one, though. But yeah, that's pretty much, I'd say, that, in my opinion, the best path is either Kingfisher or staying loyal to Equestria. In terms of for your industry and so, however, if you want for the most expansion options and the most secured expansion is defense, pretty much. Because yeah, you can choose this pretty much no matter what. If you go partition and you're not Glade Mate, who is completely isolationist. Get the radio out. Because we're going to go towards a point in the future and rather not focus on that exact thing. Oh yeah, here's the other downside about this is you can't do conscription. It has the same negative effect that Canada does in the base game. You have to choose a focus. You have to do this focus here, which you can't achieve until you do this one, which requires world attention or supremacy. Hence, this is why I think the supremacy is the best for expansion, but not the best necessarily for your nation. It really helps you get that out of the way early on, so you can actually do that. Also, submod wise, I do have the play with Peace Commons and the state transfer tool. The reason I have the state transfer tool is mainly in case a border war happens, I can fix it in a way that makes some sense. Not from me, but I mean from AIs being stupid. And how they actually go set. But I would avoid as much changes as possible with that. That's mainly because I don't want this whole map to look completely disgusting. And I also forgot to disable it earlier before I started recording. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. But yeah, next episode we should be able to actually start doing things for our actual politics rather than focus entirely on staying industry and introducing what this whole thing is. So yeah. Well, okay, that's apparently that's the one thing happened right before we left. Apparently the National Pumpkin Army won in the Griffonian Civil War. Which is either going to be really bad or really good. So yeah. And good night.